Michigan Family Wellness, episode 27.
Here at Michigan Family Wellness, we believe chiropractic care and nutritional-based therapies are a foundational part of a healthy family lifestyle. No matter where you're at in the mitten, having a family is such an exciting time of life. So instead of feeling overwhelmed by stress, fatigue, and responsibilities with the kids, we invite you to become part of this empowering community to create happy, healthy families. By providing engaging interviews and practical applications, Dr. Wollner cultivates family health by equipping our listeners with the tools they need to elevate wellness in their own family. Dr. Wollner passionately serves the Michigan community at his chiropractic and nutrition-based practice, where he specializes in pregnancy, pediatrics, and family wellness care. And now, here's your host, Dr. Kyle Wollner.
Good day, Michigan families, and welcome to another empowering episode of Michigan Family Wellness. I am your host, Dr. Kyle, and today we have an exciting episode focusing on back-to-school family wellness. But before we get to today's episode, the Michigan Family Wellness Clinic is all about helping you and your family. We're family-centered here, and when you're the single parent or the stressed-out spouse just struggling to get through each day and take care of the kids and advance your career and make sure the home is picked up and the refrigerator is stocked and on and on and on, we're here for you. What I help most of my patients with is resiliency. And the way I define resiliency is giving you the strength to adapt to the stress in your life. Sometimes we do have stressors that need to go, whether they be something environmental or an abusive relationship or just the nutrient-deficient food that we eat. Other times, the stress isn't necessarily going away, but the way our body is adapting to that stress is not sustainable. I help my patients, many of them women and mothers, but many fathers as well, increase their resiliency and equip them with that strength to adapt to the challenges and the transitions and the stress and the changes in their life. The saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, is absolutely true. And that's why I have committed this podcast and the MFW clinic to servicing this community through integrity, certainty, and authenticity. You deserve the best doctor-patient experience and the best results in the shortest amount of time. So if there was a way to elevate your health, your family wellness, and your resiliency, would you be interested? If this message is resonating with you, or if you would like to start a dialogue about your specific situation, head on over to MichiganFamilyWellness.com, where you can send me an email, schedule a complimentary phone consultation, or head on over to the MFW Facebook page and send me a Facebook message. And as you're listening to today's episode, you'll notice that I'm speaking as if I'm doing a webinar. You can also view the webinar portion of this podcast by expanding the show notes on your mobile device or desktop and taking advantage of those clickable links to the corresponding video. All right, families, so let's jump into today's episode packed full of benefits and value for the busy family in this back-to-school season. Good day, families. My name is Dr. Kyle, and I am the Family Wellness Chiropractor at the Michigan Family Wellness Clinic. Today, we're talking all about back-to-school family wellness. Many parents got up early this week to send their kids off to their first day of school. While this is such an exciting time for both kids and parents, it's also a time of transition and additional stress. Stay on top of this season by staying well adjusted through chiropractic care. Here are just some of the benefits of chiropractic adjustments: improved sleep, lowered irritability and anxiety, increased brain function, enhanced immune system function, elevated athletic performance, and relief from headaches and low back pain. Further boost your immune system with the herbal nutritional medicine to prevent colds, allergies, and the flu coming up this flu season. Remember, in order to take care of the people who depend on you, like your kids, your spouse, and in order to contribute most to your community and at your work, you have to take care of yourself. So that's what we're all about here at Michigan Family Wellness. Furthermore, not only is chiropractic care incredibly valuable for mom and dad, but keeping the whole family healthy by bringing in your kids for those adjustments as well. The purpose of today's webinar is to highlight the nutritional medicine available to keep you and your family healthy and ahead of the curve when it comes to academic performance, boosting your immune system function, and recovering from colds and flus faster. Not only is there a major change in the seasons, which can aggravate allergies and circadian rhythms, our sleep rhythms, but changes in schedules, academic responsibilities, social pressures, extracurricular activities like sports, mathletes, and even jobs for some high school and college-aged people. All of these combined put an increased demand on our adrenal system, our immune system, and require quality sleep for recovery. The sudden and compound nature of these changes often results in illness or injury because our bodies are not only stressed, but we aren't taking enough time to rest. Poor diets and refined carbohydrates, processed foods will only add fuel to this flame of physiologic dysfunction. So, as we kick off our discussion here, I just have a quick disclaimer, and please visit MichiganFamilyWellness.com to stay up to date on everything with the Michigan Family Wellness Podcast and all of the live events going on at Canton's Summit on the Park. And here we go. This is the typical back-to-school family. A lot of families, like I said, a lot of parents got up early on Tuesday morning to see their kids off at the bus stop. It was a great sight going into the office to adjust patients on Tuesday morning. All right, so here we are. Here is the Family Wellness Toolbox. So we have tools on the left and we have applications on the right. So to help prevent yourself and family from getting sick and handling all the stress we mentioned, I've designed a Family Wellness Toolbox. The toolbox is a combination of therapeutic nutritional medicine and a daily multivitamin that keep the body charged and responsive to handle the challenges and stress associated with life, especially going back to school. Everyone, this is resiliency. Remember, the whole purpose and mission and vision behind the Michigan Family Wellness Clinic is to equip you with resiliency, which is that strength to adapt to the stress in your life. All right. So we're going to talk through these 8 tools and the multivitamin, and we're going to go over these applications for you. So let's start with Rhodiola ginseng. But first, let's have a conversation about our adrenal glands. In case you were wondering, the adrenal glands are these 2 triangular-shaped glands that sit on top of our kidneys. They produce hormones and make up a significant part of our endocrine system. In animals, when a stressor arises, they respond by going into a fight-or-flight mode or a sympathetic response. After the stressor is removed or the event is over, the animal returns to a relaxed state or homeostasis, which is a balance between parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. In humans, we also enter into a fight-or-flight response when faced with a stressor, whether it be work, school, relationships, you name it. But oftentimes, humans don't return to a relaxed state. Many factors contribute to this pattern. The adrenal glands release a hormone called cortisol, which you can see down here at the bottom of this diagram. Cortisol is our stress hormone, and in low amounts, it is very helpful for our fight or flight response. The trouble is, sometimes the adrenal glands produce cortisol all the time or a chronic stress response. Okay, there's this constant stimulus calling for more cortisol. So, this is what is known as the HP axis or the hypothalamus pituitary axis. So let's talk to you more about that. The adrenal glands are just one part of the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, okay? As you can appreciate in this diagram, the adrenal glands are ultimately signaled by the brain, okay? Specifically the hypothalamus and the pituitary, the anterior pituitary. This is called the HPA axis, and this is why most Americans are sick, chronically fatigued, and developing metabolic syndromes that lead to more pathologic conditions. So, how do we fix and support all of this? This is where rhodiola and ginseng come in. These are 2 medicinal therapeutic herbs that really function well to support the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal or the HPA axis. Rhodiola and ginseng support mental clarity and support cognitive function. They promote vitality and stamina. They help maintain proper energy, support physical endurance, maintain feelings of general well-being. When experiencing temporary stress, they help the body adapt to the changes of everyday life. And if that isn't resiliency, I don't know what is. So as you can see, there are tons of benefits and value to Rhodiola ginseng here. If you test well for this medication, for this medicine, I often tell people to take 2 tablets in the mid-afternoon, right when you start to crave that 3rd or 4th cup of coffee, or right when you just feel so exhausted that you are about to fall asleep at work. All right, so that's Rhodiola ginseng. Supporting your adrenal glands during seasonal changes is one of the most important things you can do to prevent fatigue and illness. All right, so let's talk about the importance of vitamin D. Here's the thing, the body can synthesize vitamin D via ultraviolet light from the sun. The trouble is, we live in Michigan, and there's not a lot of sunshine for most of the months of the year, especially September to May or June. Not only that, but one of my mentors, Dr. Cass, helps us understand if your shadow is taller than you are, the angle of the light hitting your skin is not the correct angle for your body to make vitamin D. The optimal angle of the sun is when your shadow is as tall or shorter than you are. Healthy vitamin D levels correlate with strong bones, a happy mood, and contribute to healthy DNA/RNA signaling. Vitamin D, specifically vitamin D3, has become one of the most studied nutrients of the human body. We now understand the importance of vitamin D not just as a vitamin, but as a neurohormone that has profound signaling significance. The reason I like this particular vitamin D is because it's a liposome spray, which is the best formula not only for adults but also for kids with growing bones because it contains vitamin K2, the NK7 variation, which significantly enhances the absorption of vitamin D. As we said earlier, the body can make vitamin D in the presence of ultraviolet sunlight, and with enough available cholesterol, that's how the synthesis occurs. People who live in northern latitudes such as Michigan, Wisconsin, these people are in danger of not getting enough daily vitamin D, especially in the winter months. So, Solray D, this one here, is a highly absorbable D3 and K2 combination, like I said, in that spray, which helps the absorption and direction of calcium. So if you're concerned about osteopenia or osteoporosis, if you're concerned about heart conditions, prostate, breast conditions, these are all things that can be supported by optimal levels of vitamin D. It's absorbed directly into the bloodstream because it's a spray. It doesn't go through the GI tract through your stomach like a oral medication would. One spray supplies 1,000 international units of vitamin D3, and patients tell me they experience the best results when they use about 5 to 10 sprays per day. There's more and more research to show that we need to be doing 10,000 international units or more of vitamin D3 to really get those levels in the blood over 100, over 200, which is where a lot of neuroendocrinologists like to see those levels. Okay, so now I just know we mentioned the gastrointestinal tract, so let's talk about how we can support our gut in this back-to-school season. Okay, so here is Orthobiotic. This is our probiotic that we use at the office, or at least one of them. The main thing with probiotics here, everyone, is that you want to have a diversity of your microbiome. So as we go back to school this year, our gut is one of the places that interfaces with the outside world. It acts as a barrier to pathogens and antigens. And if it's working properly, it organizes the food we eat into nutrients that our cells can use. When we eat processed foods and high sugar diets, our gut barrier begins to break down and dysbiosis begins to set in, also known as intestinal permeability or leaky gut, if you've heard of those terms. Furthermore, when our gut doesn't work, our brain doesn't work because of the gut-brain connection. So here's the practical application. If you're trying to help your kids do well on exams, help their brain by helping their gut. So we also have this formula in a powder form. This is called Flora Boost, okay? For kids who have trouble swallowing capsules, you can mix this into a glass of water or a juice or a milk, and they can drink this, and they don't have to worry about swallowing capsules. Furthermore, combat these patterns by eating clean, organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free diets, and taking Orthobiotic 1 or 2 times per day with meals. Each capsule of Orthobiotic includes 20 billion colony-forming units, or CFUs, which is one of the reasons why I like this formula so much. Furthermore, a particular strain called Lactobacillus rhamnosus has been thoroughly studied as a mood modulator. So here's just a little bit more information about that. This particular strain affects depression and stress behavior in mice, okay? So here's the thing. When they do these studies on mice, they measured the levels of stress when they put mice in water because mice don't like to swim. When mice are placed in a tub of water, they freak out, and we can measure their stress levels by measuring the release of the hormone cortisol. Remember cortisol from earlier? Cortisol shoots through the roof when these mice are placed in the water. We can also measure other vital signs like heart rate and blood pressure. When in the water, the heart rate of the mice increases along with their blood pressure. However, when researchers supplement these mice with Lactobacillus rhamnosus, or this specific kind of probiotic, then those mice are placed in the water, the mice are relaxed. One researcher described this effect as a Valium-like effect. So, can you imagine that kind of Valium level-like effect just from taking your probiotics? So again, this stuff is powerful, this stuff is therapeutic, but it's got to be right for you. So remember, you have to be tested for these things, and here's the practical application. It's not going to work if you don't take it. So take your probiotic supplement. For more information on leaky gut and leaky brain, please check out my webinars on those topics as well. All right. So I know we're getting really technical here, but I like to throw in a little bit of jokes. If you're old enough to remember those great educational animations from the 1990s, the conjunction junction, what's your function? I love that little animation there, and I just wanted to insert that in as just a little bit of a brain break here because this is some pretty technical stuff we're talking about. But again, this is all to support you and your family. All right, so we got to talk about the sinuses because during seasonal changes, our sinuses make up the front lines of defense against allergies and opportunistic infections. Supporting your sinus cavities with Sinatrol is the smart way to clear the airway and combat unfriendly antigens. All right, so we have Sinatrol. Sinatrol, optimal sinus health, requires proper circulation through the sinus cavity that is free of mucus buildup. Under healthy conditions, the sinuses are empty and have a thin layer of mucus. A healthy process that occurs in the sinus cavities, termed mucociliary clearance, allows the epithelium, or those layers of cells, in coordination with mucus production, to continually remove waste from the sinuses by facilitating drainage and particle removal. Okay, so Sinatrol supports sinus health by increasing that mucociliary clearance, which is decreasing the buildup of mucus and boosting the immune response during respiratory challenges. So here is a great alternative to Mucinex, is this Sinatrol right here. Okay? So again, Sinatrol is a specialized preparation of botanicals and nutrients formulated to help support the immune health and immediate support for respiratory challenges. All right, N-acetylcysteine is a powerful amino acid that dissolves mucus by breaking up disulfide bonds that contribute to mucus density. The plant enzyme bromelain acts in synergy with N-acetylcysteine due to its protein digesting effects. All right, there's also a little bit of licorice root, which soothes the respiratory irritation, and a little bit of thyme soothes the sinuses and helps loosen the phlegm. Okay? If your allergies are stronger and more intense than average, enhance the power of Sinatrol by adding natural D-Hist. The combination of these two supplements works synergistically to even further knock out allergies. All right, so let's talk about natural D-Hist. This is a powerful combination of flavonoids, antioxidants, and proteolytic enzymes and botanicals designed to provide comprehensive support for seasonal changes caused by common environmental allergens. The key ingredient, quercetin, is a powerful flavonoid that supports healthy histamine levels. Quercetin's effects on seasonal discomfort is unmatched by other natural substances. Quercetin has limited absorption in the body, but has a long half-life, meaning the body has the ability to store it and use it over time. Building up a reserve of quercetin in the body is critical for the effective support of nasal and sinus passages during seasonal changes. All right, so moving on to a little bit more explanation here. Unlike traditional approaches, quercetin stops the release of histamine before it starts. It does this by stabilizing mast cells, specialized immune cells that, when activated, release histamines that cause seasonal discomfort. Okay? So, by binding to calcium protein complexes, quercetin prevents an influx of calcium into the mast cells. This inhibits the process of mast cell rupture, which keeps histamine and other chemical mediators from being released. Without the release of histamine, the body does not react to common environmental triggers. So again, if you're really suffering from allergies, the combination of natural D-Hist and that quercetin combined with Sinatrol is a great natural alternative to always taking your Flonase and your Mucinex and all of that over-the-counter stuff that really can be doing more harm than good if you're taking it all the time chronically. Is it really solving the problem? So now that we've done all this hard work to knock out antigens and mobilize mucus, we need to help the body get rid of it, and that's where drainage milieu comes in. All right, the simple thing to remember about drainage milieu is that it helps the body clean and clear connective tissue. In other words, it's a homeopathic remedy designed to drain and tonify organs of detoxification, especially the lymph. The lymphatic drainage down there is really, really important. You can have the best immune system in the world, but you have to be able to identify the antigens, kill the antigens, and then remove them through the elimination pathways, and that's what drainage milieu helps with, okay? And it does this naturally. Like I said, it's a great homeopathic. All right, moving on to melatonin here. Melatonin is the hormone that opposes cortisol in the circadian rhythms, okay? You need to be getting a good night's sleep as you go back to school and as you're transitioning in this transitional time of the year. This helps your body buffer and recover from all of the stress of a transitional time of the year. The thing I like about this version of melatonin is that, again, it's a spray delivery. So it's bypassing gut digestion, which is way more effective, and you end up using less and needing less. Plus, it's more absorbable right into your pineal gland, which is where your body naturally produces melatonin anyways. So I highly recommend getting tested for the effectiveness, the benefits, and the value of this melatonin. This kind of melatonin, you're not going to develop a dependence on it, okay? A lot of patients tell me, oh yeah, I've tried melatonin before, it doesn't work. This is different. It's not a pill that you swallow. This is actually something that you spray and has delivery right into your bloodstream immediately. All right. So more comic relief here. Just a little funny Facebook joke. Teachers don't always want to see or know so much about what kids are doing with their Facebook on their summer vacation. But we just have a little comic relief here again because, like I said earlier, this stuff does get pretty heavy, HPA axis, so we like to give the brain a little bit of a break here every now and then. So let's move along to Nevaton Forte. All right. This is a fantastic herbal medicine for just helping the person that's always worrying and always anxious, okay? Or that just have so much stress, so much ups and downs that they need to have a more even keel emotional state, and that's where Nevaton Forte comes in. Not only that, it is a great HPA axis modulator like we talked about earlier. It's going to help calm your nerves, support digestion, and ease the effects of occasional stress. The blend of herbs we're talking about in this combination are St. John's wort, schizandra, and skullcap, and saffron. And they provide a wide range of phytochemicals that really help to, like I said, calm the nerves, support digestion. It's a great liver tonic. And again, we're all about trying to balance the levels of stress, the balance between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. Okay? Like I said earlier, provides great support and maintenance of the liver. These herbs are bitter, okay? Many people have forgotten what the taste of bitterness is supposed to be like because all of our food, everything, all of our juice, everything is so sweet. All right, so here we are. Rounding out the family wellness toolbox are the twice daily essential packs. So everyone, this is a great solution, and this is a convenient and cost-effective solution for so many families, you know, the entrepreneurs, the parents, the professionals that are on the go, on the run. They know that they should be taking a multivitamin. They know that they should be taking a fish oil. They realize the importance of calcium and magnesium, but they don't have the time to put all that together and take it with them on the go. So that's where the convenience comes in with the twice daily essential packs. And again, this is also cost effective because now you're only purchasing one product or nutritional medicine here. You're not purchasing 3 or 4 and having all the cost of that. So I instruct my patients to take one of these in the morning with their breakfast and take one at dinner, or if they're on the go, they can just grab them and take them with them on the go. All right. So just to summarize here, the Family Wellness Toolbox, we have our tools on the left. We have these 8 nutritional remedies and a multivitamin support along with all of their applications. Rhodiola ginseng to support our adrenal system, Solray D to optimize vitamin D levels and strengthen our immune and skeletal systems, Orthobiotic to help replenish our microbiome, Sinatrol for sinus congestion, immune and mold challenges, natural D-Hist to combat allergies, drainage Milieu to help clean and clear out our connective tissues, Melatonin to help us sleep properly and recover from the occasional stressful schedules, Nevaton Forte to modulate our brain and help ease anxiety, and the twice daily essential packs for full spectrum multivitamin support. All right, so now you may be thinking, all right, so the Family Wellness Toolbox is pretty awesome. So how does this relate with chiropractic, and how can my chiropractor help with the stress of going back to school? Many of my patients already know, but the spine profoundly impacts the central nervous system for healing. As you can see in this diagram, all of our organs, glands, and tissues are innervated by nerves that trace back to the spinal cord. By adjusting the vertebra around the spinal cord, we can specifically and significantly improve and restore the function of tissues that aren't working like they should be. So include chiropractic adjustments for you and your family as part of your health and wellness lifestyle. Chiropractic adjustments are also perfect for kids recovering from playground injuries or sport injuries. So I hear this all the time. My kids are bound to injure themselves on the playground or on their sports team. How can chiropractic adjustments help? Perfect question. So if you look at this frame here, we can see how the top 5 causes of children's sports and recreational injuries include basketball, football, bicycle accidents, accidents on the playground, and soccer injuries. So not only can you help your kids prevent getting future injuries, but you can also help the recovery from these injuries with chiropractic adjustments. Okay. And here's just a little bit more detailed information on that. Again, this is for data up to kids who are 18 years old, and there are close to 50,000 injuries related to basketball and football, just because those are such high contact sports. Soccer is up there as well. And like I said, I can't say enough about the benefits and value of chiropractic care to help with those injuries, especially recovery, and not only that, but also prevention of those injuries. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Michigan families, that is it for today. Remember to pick up your Family Wellness Toolbox from the Michigan Family Wellness Clinic at your next appointment. I want to thank all of you for attending this exciting webinar on Back to School Family Wellness. And please be sure to check out my other webinars and other audio libraries, not only on the Michigan Family Wellness Podcast, but we also have live events over at Canton Summit on the Park. For more information, I would really appreciate a subscribe, rate, and review from iTunes or Google Play Music for the Michigan Family Wellness Podcast. You can also sign up for my weekly email newsletter, and you can do that at www.michiganfamilywellness.com. And again, I just want to leave you guys with one final thought here. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So my mission, my vision, and purpose is to serve this amazing community with these natural, conservative, and alternative approaches to healthcare. And all of that is fueled by just this passion of serving the community and doing this for the people that have meant so much for me. So again, coming to you from beautiful Southeast Michigan, my name is Dr. Kyle, and this is Michigan Family Wellness.
Now that you've been equipped with the latest in family wellness solutions, we want to encourage you to apply these strategies right away. But the thing is, there's still so much to learn. Connect with Dr. Wallner's Chiropractic and Nutrition Office by going to MichiganFamilyWellness.com and click the newsletter sign-up button to join the informative and supportive community of chiropractic wellness. You will also receive as a gift from Dr. Wallner a copy of Michigan Family Wellness Solutions, an invaluable resource containing dynamic tools to elevate family health and vitality. Michigan Family Wellness wants to thank you for being part of today's podcast. Please subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and review.